So welcome to the second part of our JICNA section editor training session. In this session, we will follow a new manuscript through the submission stage. You will see how to open a newly assigned submission, perform an initial assessment, communicate with the author if needed, and decide whether to send the manuscript for peer review or decline it at this stage. From your dashboard, start in My Assigned. Use the stage filter if necessary to show only manuscripts in submission. These are new or newly revised manuscripts waiting for your attention. And click on the title of a submission to open its submission record. You are now looking at the submission stage for this manuscript. In the submission files panel, you can see the files the author uploaded, usually the main manuscript and sometimes figures or supplementary material. You may also see an anonymized version ready to be sent for peer review. At the top, you can see under the publication tab, you can review the title, the abstract, the keywords, and the article type to check that everything is complete and correctly entered. As a section editor, this is where you answer the 3 quick questions. Is the paper within the scope of JICNA and of your section? Does it meet a minimum standard of quality and ethics? For example, appropriate study design, consent and anonymization were relevant, and is the submission complete enough to send to reviewers, or is it clearly not ready? If something is unclear at this stage, you don't have to decide immediately. Use the pre-review discussions or discussions panel to contact the author or another editor. For example, you may write to the author, "Thank you for your submission to JICNA. Before we can consider this for peer review, please clarify the inclusion criteria and upload the ethics approval letter as a separate file." Maybe the author's reply and any further messages stay attached to this manuscript inside JICNA, so the whole editorial team can see what was agreed. Now, sometimes it's clear that a manuscript is not suitable for JICNA even before peer review. For example, it's far outside of the journal's scope, or the methodology is fundamentally unsound. In these cases, you can use the decline submission directly from the submission stage, and this is often called desk rejection. JICNA will then open. On clicking decline submission, decision email template will open. Adjust the wording so it is respectful and where possible constructive. Briefly state the main reasons for the decision, and if appropriate, suggest that the author may wish to submit a substantially revised version or to try a more suitable journal. Now, if the manuscript is within the scope of reasonable quality, the next step is to send to review. So on clicking send to review button, JICNA will ask you to confirm which files will be sent to reviewers, usually the anonymized main manuscript file and any supplementary material they need. Confirm the selection and complete the step by clicking send to review. The submission now moves from submission to the review stage, where you will invite reviewers and manage the reports. So to summarize, when you open a new submission as section editor, run through this simple checklist. Scope is the topic suitable for JICNA and for your section. Ethics is a clear indication of ethical approval or justification were needed. Completeness are the main file, abstract and key metadata present and readable. Minimum quality is the manuscript understandable enough to send to reviewers without wasting their time. Now, based on this, you can either decline at submission if it is clearly unsuitable, or use a discussion to request clarification or minor pre-review revisions and send to review and move into the peer review stage. That's the submission stage from a section editor's point of view. In the next video, we will work inside the review stage, choosing reviewers, setting deadlines, reading reports, and making decisions or recommendations for the editor-in-chief.